All right, everybody good in their headsets?
Yep.
I'm good. Yep. Ooh, hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's spicy.
HOT.
Yeah, there you go.
Mike is caliente.
I'm going to actually bring down your microphone this time. I had to do some creative editing last week. We were like, woo! It was like, Jesus
I told
Christ.
you it was hot.
You crackled. All right.
Yeah, Melissa's got she's in New Orleans 4 times. in like the last- Yeah, titties.
Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and with me always is Mike and Randy at the Mac Shack. What's up, guys?
If it's the end of the world as you know it and you feel fun, you've come to the right place.
Maybe.
Because our worlds are all seemingly collapsing.
Yeah.
Mine's not.
Well, shut up.
Mine's fine.
Hashtag humble, not so humble brag.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's good. You know what? I'm going to try to let this stay last thing, too.
Oh, man, it's going to be so bad.
I know.
Mine fell apart. I lit it and started smoking it from last week, and it was like...
I'll
The
get
funny
it,
thing
Randy.
was...
I got it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you ask me to pass it.
I did,
That's
and I
my
just
fault.
said I was going to light it, and then grabbed it, and I started reaching.
Usually you have your own lighter.
Well, I didn't even bring cigars, so...
Whose fault is that?
Not mine. I wasn't going to smoke, but then this thing was still sitting here.
There it is.
So...
Self-pressure. It's not even peer pressure. I wasn't going to, but then
I did.
it existed.
Yeah,
So,
it tastes like smoky air.
that's mine was
not
like
even-
I was inhaling air, and I was like, I went to put it out, and the outside wrapper fell off, and I was
That's
like,
fine.
when the outside wrapper falls off a $10 cigar, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over with.
She's done.
It was not in my humidifier.
No.
So, yeah. So,
How was your thing?
my trip. So, I had a nice trip, and I'll see you next fall.
Yeah.
So,
Hey.
no, I had to go. So, my brother's father, we're not blood related, but it's my mom's best friend's husband.
Up next on Jerry Springer.
Right. So, he passed away
Oh, yeah, I
last
forgot.
week, and
I'm making jokes, and I forgot this was about a death.
it's fine. He was a large guy. I mean, he was every bit of your
Me?
size.
Yeah. But in bad health. What a loser.
I mean, can you be your size and be in good health? I mean,
Apparently, his blood work keeps
my
coming
blood-
back okay.
don't care what
My
blood
blood
works.
pressure's perfect. My blood. That's what I look at them and I'm like, how? Like, give me something.
They're like-
give me something so I can collect disability at least.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just
Let me suckle that government teat a little.
so
They're like, nope, you're just really, 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 really fat. Okay.
you're big boned,
And
large boned,
I got a lot of fat
Dinosaur.
on top of my
mammoth
bones.
boned.
Dinosaur bones.
So yeah, so I hadn't been back to East Liverpool.
Woolly mammoth.
Yeah, mammoth bones. I haven't been back to East Liverpool since
The Beatles.
2015,
Oh,
2016.
wrong Liverpool.
Wrong Liverpool. 2015 to 2016.
They were from West Liverpool.
It's been a minute.
You
So
almost made it a decade.
I know. But Liverpool hasn't really changed. It's still like Detroit. Run down, buildings are falling down, empty. And it's just a river town. But Toronto, well, it's still a shithole too. So
Yeah, screw Canada.
I drove through Toronto. I was trying not to. Like I'm driving up Route 7. I'm like, I'm going to go through Toronto. No, I'm not going to go through Toronto.
Should I?
I don't need to go through fucking Toronto. I don't fucking care about Toronto. Why do I'm going to go through Toronto. I'm not going through Toronto. I just went through Toronto. And I'm like, well, shit. So I knew
you
that.
kind of have to.
Well, I mean, it's if you blink, you miss it type of thing. So
You caught the green light.
yeah. And
Wait, they have a light there?
actually, they have two.
I remember the first time I was trying to sell supplemental insurance, like combined. I was selling for combined, like the Aflac, but they don't have commercials. And they sent me to southeastern Ohio. And they were like, you're going to go to this place, these addresses in Colton and collect premium and then go door to door and try and sell. And I went to Colton, Ohio, and it's like one 3-way stop. And I was like, which trailer is occupied and which isn't? Because they're all falling apart.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
So that's the way Toronto is. So I drove through Toronto. I knew there was a brewery there, so someone's opened a brewery in Toronto. There's a taco restaurant, like not a Taco Bell, like a mom and pop taco restaurant. There used to be a Taco Bell there. They're like a Dunkin' Donuts, a coffee shop, a bunch. There used to be a bunch of pizza shops, a barbecue place, but Toronto's still Toronto. It's still not a great place to visit or live. So ended up driving through, stopped at the coffee shop. I needed coffee. It's a 2.5, 3 hour drive, just one way. So I'm like, fuck it. Got up to East Liverpool, went to a restaurant called the Hot Dog Shop, and it has been there since...
Was shop spelled SHOPPE?
Yes.
Knew it.
And it has been a staple in my diet living in Liverpool or Toronto for 19 years.
Except the last 9.
Well, yes. So ended up going there. My lunch cost me $7.
Jeez.
I got
Beautiful.
a small cheddar chili fry, and a small is
I was going to say
Yeah.
the
that
container's about the size of
the cigar.
your
case.
cigar case, maybe a little bit bigger, and it's just coated in government cheese and chili.
The kind of cheese that when it melts, it's plastic.
Yeah,
That
It
works.
holds the fries together.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with it. And then I got a cheddar kraut dog. So sauerkraut and
Yes,
cheddar
please.
chili on the fucking dog. Oh, my God. I call it the Sally special because that's what my mom always got. And ended up getting that.
I call
$7.
your mom the Sally special, too.
That's weird because she's dead.
Yeah. I mean, she can't say no.
I mean, you're going to walk out a little...
Necrophilia jokes.
you're
Hey,
going to
it's-
walk out super ashy.
It's,
I mean, stick your dick in the urn.
in here, I thought I just need moisturizer.
Nope. So...
It's my dick in the urn.
ended up getting that, went and sat in the funeral home parking lot and ate my lunch until my pseudo mom, Pam, showed up, and my brother Mike and Ryan, and went inside and checked on Mike to see how he's doing because he's a super emotional guy. And Ryan's just like, yeah. I'm like, God damn, Ryan, you look like Ron. And he's like, what's that mean? I'm like, well, 1, you look like your dad, but 2, you look like your dad. You're getting big. And he's like, yeah, I know.
I think there's a running theme in your life. You have one really, really, really fat friend around you at all times. So no matter how fat you get, you still feel really good about yourself.
You said that
Except
like
I
it's
don't
a
get
bad
fat.
thing.
Pudgy.
I mean,
Little biscuity in the love handle area.
there's something there. Can't get rid of it. Yeah, Pillsbury. So
That's for his boyfriend to grab onto.
went through the whole, like,
I'm his boyfriend.
did everything with the funeral, and everybody cried, and da-da-da-da. And so drove back through Toronto again on my way home because Lexi's like, I want pizza. I want pizza from Toronto. And I'm like, I don't even know what places are open. So found a place that was still around.
Pizza Hut.
No, because I don't put that shit in my body. And so I ordered pizza, ran to the brewery, and got what we're going to drink tonight, which is, it is called Red Knight Ale because it is the Toronto Red Knights.
Knights.
So I figured I could have gotten their Saison. I could have gotten their oatmeal stout. They had an apple cider ale that was fucking amazing, but it's way too much, like way too sweet and tart to get a growler of.
Yeah.
Except for Randy. Randy probably drink 2 of them and be like, this is apple juice.
I'm only having 2 beers.
Can I go ahead and get an IV of this? It's super sweet. And
My
I
blood
have a
sugar's
sweet
still perfect somehow.
So I ended up getting like I said, I got the Red Knight Ale, and it is, I got to find it here real quick. Red Knight Ale. So it is a 5.64%, and it's
That's not
made
bad.
with a cornucopia of malts, including some local ones. This ale has flavors of caramel, raisins, and even a kiss of honey without being too sweet. So I landed on this one because it is
Kind of a
I'm intrigued.
my alma
Ubiquitous,
mater.
yeah.
So we'll pour those here in a second.
I forgot it was a growler, and we were heading out here, and Beth's like, no, you guys haven't been drinking, and you have to drive home, so take it easy. I said, hey, Martelle got like 1 beer from back home.
I got one beer.
one beer.
And I said, we're going to split one. She goes, oh, okay. And I got out here, and I was like, oh, yeah, it was a growler. I forgot.
64 ounces of one
That
beer.
doesn't mean we need to sit and drink this whole thing.
No.
No.
Or yes.
Or yes.
We don't have to.
But we can.
Good for them.
Get your money's worth. I like our fancy Chablais glasses or whatever. Man, look at you.
Oh, that looks
Like
pretty.
we're at a upscale bar here. It looks nice. Good color to it. Thank you.
That's for you.
Beggars can't be choosers.
don't like beer.
What if I love this beer?
Then you have some more.
That's actually
I do have a beer to try too. That
When I
I've
did-
been waiting to try, but we didn't meet.
when
for
I
New
did
Year's.
backslide and and lubricate myself during dry January. All I had was beer. I've not had liquor in
Oh, I had a,
whatever the last time we recorded and
I
drank
had
was.
an old fashioned
I know you-
Thursday night.
I
It
have
was
no liquor in my
so
house.
fucking
I had
good.
4 of them.
Oh my god, it was so good. And
I
then
almost like wanted to call you guys and record it just so we had it.
And then last night, I had a beer when I got home, and then I made wings. So I had a dozen wings, and Melissa and I split a bottle of champagne, and it was lovely.
That would be nice. Yeah, Liz had a
Champagne and wings, by the way, primo.
bottle. Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah,
I have to give that a try.
cuts through the fat. Oh, so fucking good.
Yeah,
That's what I need. I need to drink champagne.
apparently. You need to rub your body in it.
Champagne bath.
Who
You
says
need
I
one, you
don't?
need one of those turkey injectors and just start
A syringe.
syringing it in.
Oh, you
But-
diabetic? Nope.
Not yet.
Champagne.
Working on it.
I've been trying.
Working on it. What are you drinking there?
This is so I started drinking this before and when I realized I had to leave. So then I just brought it with me as an open container.
I wasn't going to mention it.
And it is a Columbus Brewing and Jackie O collab called Mayhem. And it's a double IPA.
Jackie O for me has some really, really great beers and some
want-
really blah beers. Like they're either really hit or miss. There's no in between for me.
That one's very hoppy. Like it is very just.
Well, and I had one at.
Do you want one of those?
There was a brewery in Chillicothe that also carried some Jackie O stuff with their own stuff. One I had was real hoppy, but I actually liked it. And then one I had wasn't as hoppy, but I was like, this is disgusting. It just had a bad flavor.
Oh
Oh, that's good.
no, this is.
I don't
good.
remember.
Th-
This has been a few years back, though. I don't remember
Yeah,
what
that's
it
a
was.
hop bomb.
Yeah,
That's
that's
super
it's
tasty.
super hoppy. Well, even the drummer's head is hops.
It's hops.
Yeah.
It's a bud. This smells fantastic.
But yeah, this is so. I'm gonna palate cleanse.
Yeah.
So I ended up texting a friend of mine. She lives out in Maryland, but I went to school with her at Toronto, and they were just in town like 2 weeks ago. So they were at the brewery, and I'm like, hey, I know you were just at the brewery, at Squids Brewery in Toronto, Ohio. I said, do they have bottles? And I wasn't thinking, like,
Yeah.
I was thinking growlers, and she's thinking, I don't think they're bottling or canning anything. I'm like, no, growlers. Sorry, do they have growlers? And she goes, I think they have growlers. She goes, but leave it to a Toronto brewery to not have growlers.
Right.
And I'm like, right. So she got back. She texted her stepmom, who is friends with the owner. And then when I walked in, the owner, she's standing there, and I'm like, yeah, I said, I'm passing through. I want to get a growler or something. She's like, oh, you're so-and-so's friend. And I'm like, yeah, I am. She goes, whatever you want.
She said, "You're Brandon Martelle from the Buckhorn Podcast. Can I have your autograph
And I was just like, I don't know who you're
on
talking
my
about.
left tit?"
No. No.
Looks like that old woman on Happy Gilmore.
No.
Speaking of Happy Gilmore, Carl
Yeah.
Weathers.
Carl Weathers passed away.
What's weird was 2 days before that, I was in a chat with a couple buddies, a group chat we had,
And Carl Weathers was in it?
and no, somebody
That's
shared.
so something Randy
Yeah.
would say if I was talking.
Yeah.
Go back and watch every one of our episodes to see if you don't do the same damn thing.
I don't. Not to the extent that I just did to you.
Okay.
That you always do.
You're both pretty.
I know.
But my boobs are bigger.
Stuff.
They are.
Yeah, well, all body shapes are.
Gotta-
Almost 99% of
yeah,
me
why
is
don't you wear a
bigger.
bro?
Who says I'm not?
I can tell.
Wait till these things come out.
You're sagging.
Look like one of those orangutans. My nips are down here, man. Do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro?
Can you tie him in a knot?
Anyway, so he posted the Tuesday Cried being played on steel guitar. It's one of those TikToks where a guy takes requests. And I was like, oh, Rip Chubbs as a joke. And then 2 days later, he died. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
That's real
Rip
good.
Chubbs / Apollo Creed.
It's kind of raisiny.
That's good.
It's real good. Like I bag on fucking Toronto for everything that happens there.
Right.
There's
As
nothing.
you should.
There's
And then
nothing,
you're like, damn it.
I'm like, God damn it. So when I sat
Shout
down,
out to Squids.
yeah, when I sat down, the owner, I can't remember her name. She's like, oh, no. She's like, whatever you want, let me know. She goes, you try whatever you want. She goes, and we'll get you a growler. She goes, if you want to try everything we have, I'm like, I have to drive.
Yeah.
They have like,
Yes, I would like a sample growler of everything you have
well,
to go, please.
They
Can I
have
have the
like,
suicide growler, please?
Yeah.
Just go down the line.
they have like 16 beers on tap.
That's
that
great.
they all do.
Sheesh.
Like, I thought it was just like, okay, here's the 7 or 8 on the
5,
front.
yeah.
And she's like, oh, you flip it over. And there's like, God damn. So I limited myself to 4. I'm like, I'm going to go just pick 4 different varieties that are complete opposite of each other and go for it.
Once again, you're wrong.
So,
I like this.
do you
Yeah,
want some more?
that's good. That's
Yeah,
real
it's got it's got the raisiny taste for sure,
Raisin, caramel, and
just
honey.
a touch of the honey,
Yeah.
just enough.
Yeah.
Because I love honey, but I don't want everything to
Oh,
be
man,
like
that's really good.
It's really, really good.
overly inundated with honey.
Red ales are hard to. It's red ales to me sometimes.
It's a
tend to
night
taste,
ale, thank you.
Yeah, like
it's a red night ale.
Mine
Tend-
prefers a
can
pale
taste
ale.
soapy to me, and this doesn't. Yeah,
No,
I like
that's-
that a lot.
It's good. It's nice and cold.
It
Thank
is
you for
cold.
that.
Well, I put it in the fridge.
Oh, really? I thought it just magically
I
stayed cold.
shoved it up my ass.
Get close to
Yeah,
your heart.
I'm chilly.
I know. I know from experience that ain't cold.
It is cold. Cold butthole. So
You have a little work a little harder to get to it.
yeah, you gotta warm it up.
Yeah.
I think they make lubrications for that.
Nope,
Yeah.
Not for that.
Hot
Matt?
sauces.
nope.
Hot
Put some
ones.
Tabasco in there. Hot ones. The bomb. Oh, imagine taking that straight up your sphincter. Have you ever had it? Oh, we should do a hot ones challenge on here.
Oh, I wanted
be
to with the habanero barbecue almonds I brought last week.
Swing and a miss.
You mean the almonds you brought last
yeah.
week? No, we did one. Our fantasy thing.
Yeah.
One year, Jay won, and his competition was the hot ones challenge. So he paid out of pocket for all 9 sauces. And this was the season 3 lineup. And I think it was the first or second year the bomb ever been on there. And we started off and it was weak. Like the 3rd Sriracha, which I never had, and I was like, it's got a little spice, but I hated the
Sriracha's
flavor.
good, yeah.
I didn't like the flavor.
I love hot sauce.
As much as people hyped it up and people were like buying pajamas off the internet and making a big deal about it, I was like, this is not great.
Yeah.
And we kept going. I'm like, okay, I'm liking more hot sauces. And it got hotter and hotter. Number 7 was the bomb. And it took out 10 of the 12 guys.
Yeah.
And
give
the
me
other
more.
2 made it all the way.
Give me more. Give me more.
I about died. About died.
I threw the forks in the dill.
Forks in the dill hole.
So I figure we're enjoying this beer. We might as well enjoy some pulled pork as well.
Some pork butt.
Yeah, or shoulder.
Which is the shoulder?
It was a bone in, and then I took the
Well
boner
done.
out.
I'm about to put a bone back in. Smells delicious. It looks good.
It better be. It's not as hot as I'd like, but
It's because you had it in your butt.
Next to the beer.
no, not this one.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that smells so good. Hi, welcome to Buckhorn
Yep.
Podcast. You can watch us eat food and drink beer.
Well, no, this is dinner at this point for me.
I haven't had dinner.
So, liquid bread and meat.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Works.
It works. Raisin bread and meat. Doesn't sound like it'd go good, but it works. So, yeah. So I am. Everything that I had at Squids was exceptional. I should have. If I had more time, or if I had the option, I could have went and stayed at my aunt's, and I didn't. I could have sat and just sampled everything they had and came back today. But we're doing the work in the basement. And my guy was at the house yesterday, and he moved the pressure tank to the other side of the house. He cut up the floor because he had to move a
Pipe.
one of the
Yeah, you were
pipes,
saying that.
which I'm like totally fine with. So we go. I get home and I start looking over stuff, and I'm like, "Is that leaking? No, that's not leaking. That's just water from where they like all the water that came out of the pressure tank and out of the well and whatever. It's not leaking." So I go back down about an hour later, around 11:30.
That's fucking leaking.
And I'm like, yeah, that's leaking. So I grab a flathead screwdriver, and it's got 2 band clamps on each piece. I grab the flathead screwdriver, and I go, "Earth," and water goes, just starts shooting out of the. I was like, oh, loose. Fuck, what the fuck? And I loosened it up, and it would stop and go back to a little trickle, little
We're
drip.
going to stick with that for now.
And I'm like, okay, here's a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
So I stick the 5-gallon bucket under there, and I couldn't sleep last night, so I was laying in bed reading. About 12:30, I get back up. I go back downstairs. I look. I'm like, all 3 of these elbows are leaking. So they came out, went to a 90 degree, went to a 90 degree, went to a 90 degree, and came up over, and then that's where the line went. And I'm like, I know I specifically told Rob that I wanted to do just a 90 up valve, keep going. So I take pictures, close the valve, walk over, shut the pump off at the breaker, get up this morning at 6 o'clock, walk downstairs, flip the pump on, slowly open the valve to turn the water back on, send him a text at 6:30 this morning, like, we have a problem. We're leaking. And he's like, he sends me back a text about 9 o'clock. He's like, I'll be right out. Let me get some I said, can we do a 90-degree brass fitting and, like, get this thing corrected? And he's like, I'll be right out. He wasn't supposed to come back till Monday. Well, then, I was supposed to go to Lexi's basketball game today at 1 o'clock. Well, at 11 o'clock, I hadn't heard anything, like, where he was. 12 o'clock rolls around. Liz goes, all right, I'm heading out. I'm like, I want to go, but... So he shows up.
I
I'm
also
like,
don't want water
right
here.
So I sent him a text. I'm like, hey, I just want to be clear. Is this a now thing, like today thing, or is this a Monday thing? Because if it's a Monday thing, I can deal with that. I'll just shut the water off every night. No big deal. Whatever. I just want to know, like, he's like, I'm leaving Menards now. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, cool. Whatever.
He's like, I'm hungover as hell. Calm down. I'm trying, dude. I've been there.
He's not a drinker.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he's a cocainer.
No, he's a
Quaaluder.
He's a when I do drink, I drink George Dickel kind of guy. He's like, but I don't drink often. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. So he shows up, him and his other guy, and they start looking. He goes, well, I'll be damned, that's fucking leaking. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
I said,
It was not a prank.
He looks at it because he's not the one who did the work. He was doing other shit like running errands, and he goes, I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to send it to the guy who did this and be like, what the fuck were you thinking? So he comes in, he goes, 90 out, valve, up over, and done. I'm like, he's like, that's what I wanted. He goes, apparently I didn't explain 90 out. He goes, they gave me 90, 90, 90. He goes, and that's why the wall is so far away from the, he goes, because we stuck around. He's like, I wanted to see what happened. We stuck around. We made sure it wasn't leaking. He's like, but it looks like it snuck up on us. I'm like, I said, Rob, it's not that big a deal.
You fixed it. We're good.
I said, I would have asked you to not have that anyway. Like, when I came down here and looked at that, I went, there's got to be a reason it was done this way. What's the reason?
Turns out there wasn't.
There wasn't. So I was just, and he was like, well, I'll move, he goes, Monday I'm going to move the wall back closer to the actual wall. I'm like, I said, you don't have to. I said, I don't know what I'm doing with the space. I said, and you're only going to give me really 6 inches. Everybody can use an extra 6 inches, but I don't know that I need this. I don't know that I need that space. We can just leave the wall where it is, put an access panel on it, and we're good. I said, but what if you want to move the wall? Fine, whatever, move the wall. Well, then as I'm fucking around down there, I found I just went and bought another whole house filter system. So we have one on the house, but it's shit. I just went and bought another one. As I'm fucking around, I find a box. It's like yay wide by yay high. Pull out a fucking enormous whole house filter. I'm like, well, I'm taking that one back to Menards now. I told Rob, I'm like, this one gets installed, not the one I bought. And he's like, where the fuck did that come from? I'm like, it was in a box.
Over there.
I said, it was in a box I never looked at. I said, I thought it was parts for the goddamn water softener. And he goes,
So previous
All
owner
right.
left it?
yeah, well, previous owner apparently was going to install it and never did.
Well, that's what I mean.
And never mentioned it. Like, hey, there's a water filtration system down there or filter down there. Fucking idiots. So he finished all that shit up, and
I tell you, boys, I could use an extra 6 inches because I'd love to get up to 5 inches.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
well, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, I'm hung like a horse.
Miniature.
No. Think about it. A horse weighs, 2,000 and some pounds. They got a 3-foot
I
dick.
saw the math on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you weigh 205 pounds and you got a 4.5-inch dick, you're hung like a horse.
Fair.
But I tell you guys, I could really use an extra 6 inches so I can get up to 5 inches.
All right, Ron Jeremy.
I'd just like to be there, be able to go to the bathroom, not to
jog.
play which one's my belly button and which one's my penis.
There's another way to correct that.
Yeah. Your belly button is
Strap on?
circumcised.
Oh,
Oh, there's that too.
I need to get a tattoo below my belly button with arrows. Point up says belly button, point down says penis.
Just says keep going.
Yeah.
It just says good luck.
Any Audi.
Any should be an Audi. Yeah.
Any. Upper any, lower any.
Backdoor any.
Sometimes when I get really excited, my second innie becomes a mushroom.
Toadstools. Whee!
Ball.
Dude.
Oh, man. This is good stuff. Yeah, you were definitely wrong. I like this.
I like it.
I'm giving this. How much was this?
The growler was $22.
Oh, dude. I'm giving it a 3.5 all day, every day. That's real solid.
Yeah, I'm easy on the 3.5 with this.
For that price, that much beer.
$22 for a 64-ounce
it's not
growler.
a real high octane, so you can sip it. It's not heavy. It's not thick.
No.
It's a nice drinker, man. It goes great with this, with the porky butt.
Now, the downside to Squids Brewery is...
It's in Toronto.
It's in Toronto. And they don't make anything over 7%. I was like, do you have anything over 7%? And she
Do you
goes,
have anything? Do you have a men's department?
she looks at me and she goes, well, how high you look? And I'm like,
18.
12 to 18.
I was about to say, it's Baker's dozen.
And she goes, yeah, we don't have anything over 7.
She's like, wait, they can do that? That's possible? Oh, this looks thick. This is our dessert beer right here. Here you go, Martelle. I'll pass around.
All right, I'll take it.
So you sound so reluctant.
I know.
If I have to.
Twist my arm.
So this right here is double stack. I had it once, and I had the opportunity to get it again.
An Imperial Breakfast.
It is 11%.
I love the label. It's me.
It is an Imperial Stout with coffee maple syrup.
Oh. Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
Let me finish this, and then I
tastes
want
like
to.
pancakes.
That's literally.
It smells like pancakes.
Oh, my God. I feel like I just walked into Bob Evans.
Yeah.
I'm down on the farm.
Yeah. I'm
going down on the farm.
It's so good.
Poor animals. That's how that pig got so tender.
That's right.
It's so good.
Can I get this in a candle?
Right?
It does sound like a stack of smell like it sounds just like pancakes. Just like my mammy used to make.
I would eat pancakes every morning if it tasted like this.
Like pancakes?
Yeah.
I'd
It's the coffee and the malt, and it's just fucking delicious.
eat pussy every morning if it smelled like this.
Oh, that's breakfast.
Yeah.
This is a breakfast beer.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
The last time I had it, I was actually at a garage sale at about 9:00 in the morning.
That's syrup and coffee, and you can taste the. It's like
You can
butter,
taste the
but not
butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
gonna
can't
say.
believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
It's like you can taste real butter in this.
It's so fucking good.
Parquet.
Yeah. Butter.
Parquet.
Molly McButter.
That's
fantastic.
It's so fucking good.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is so fucking. Where are they from?
Oregon, I think.
That's too far. I mean, Toronto's closer.
Yep.
Oregon, Ohio.
Portland, Oregon.
Where is Wyoming, Ohio, by the way? Anyone know?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I hadn't either. Someone who wants to buy my camera. They're in Wyoming, Ohio. And I'm like, the fuck? And Liz goes, BFE. I'm like, well, Wyoming's in BFE, so makes sense.
2 hours and 4 minutes away.
I have friends that live in Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Just north of Cincy.
What's that have to do with Wyoming, Ohio?
Yes.
It's just north of Cincinnati.
Okay. Oh, well, then I can go see Mo.
There you go. We need Mo back on here. He can just drive his butt over here.
I haven't talked to him in a couple weeks.
We talk to each other every night before bed.
That's Beth you're talking to.
Dirty talk.
Yeah.
She did cut all her hair off, so they look the same pretty much.
Beth became a black Japanese man.
Same size pecs, too.
I don't know who you're insulting there.
Yeah.
Neither.
Or complimenting.
I was going to say, I'm not
Did you just call Mo
insulting
fat?
anybody. Did you just call my wife fat?
No.
No.
Your face changed real quick. I wish you were facing the camera.
So good. So good. I would never call Beth fat. I call you fat.
And I accept it.
Well,
See, that's how you ask for a lighter. You give a nod and a... So I know you need something, not just, hey, thanks for passing the lighter, asshole.
I don't want that.
This beer's fantastic. This is one of my
Yeah,
favorite beers
this
I've ever
is-
had.
It-
Oh, and it's 11%.
Yeah.
Now we're getting up there.
Yeah.
He said it was 11%
I was in pancake heaven.
in the beginning. Yeah, this is...
I took a sip of this, and it was like that scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Which scene?
Where they rip his
Where they
chest
rip
hair
the
off?
chest hair
Yeah,
off?
you see his nipples.
Yeah.
That one?
I love the fact that they did that
For real.
legit.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
takeouts.
Yeah.
Takeouts.
The takeouts? The outtakes?
I am so fat.
I think it's affecting your brains
Yeah.
in your ass.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's one of my favorite beers I've ever had.
Yeah, this is...
Fantastic.
That's
I would have...
Great Nation.
Great notion.
Notion.
I
Yep.
thought it was Great Nation, too.
Yeah, I did.
I
The
just
O
mixed
is
it.
very low on
Yeah.
its curly Q.
Get low.
Goddamn
low.
cursive writing.
Yeah.
Millennials can't read cursive writing. I'm glad I'm not a millennial.
I actually watched a video right before I came about all the generations explained in like 10 minutes. It's one of those YouTube channels where it's like, this explained in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Generation X, don't fuck with us.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's
thing.
it.
It's like, why don't we ever bring heat to Generation X? And like, you don't want that heat.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
I grew up with
We will
it.
Yeah.
fucking kill you.
I was
Yeah.
born in 83, but I had older cousins that were born in the late 70s, and that's who I hung out with. So that's why everybody's like, you're a millennial. I was like, yeah. But I also just got my butt whooped
Ish.
a lot because I
Ish.
hung out with
Ish.
all of my older cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then some people are like, well, you're not a millennial, you're a zennial. 81 to 83 zennial because you're that
In
old enough.
between.
You're the old
No.
enough to remember when Ataris hit the scene.
Yeah.
But you were there for the internet and Napster, and it's that in-between generation.
Nah, fuck all that.
I call it all BS. It's just another way for everybody to complain about generations after them.
Yep.
Literally, every generation complains about the one after them.
I complain
Everyone.
about the ones before me and the ones
Yeah.
after me.
You just complain.
That's what I'm saying.
And-
You're just a crybaby.
Yeah. I don't complain about my generation.
No,
Just
just my generation's
talking
awesome.
about my
Yeah.
gen because
we're-
I'm in it.
Because
Yeah.
we're the fucking best.
Yeah.
And everybody else can eat shit. I was
Oh, that gets better.
I was talking to Lexi because she's going through driver's ed right now.
Holy, Sorry, I haven't seen your daughter in a while, and I forgot we've been podcasting for over 5 years.
Yeah.
When we started, she was like,
she was 10.
Not driving.
Not driving. So she's doing driver's ed, and they went over manual transmission stuff.
oh, jeez.
Not one person in the class understood how to drive a manual transmission. Now, they're not like, oh, we're going to go out and do this. They're just explaining. And the way they're explaining it is, well, you've got to put your foot on the clutch, and you want to give it gas. And then you want to ease your foot off the clutch.
As you should.
And I'm like, hold on.
Every kid's in a Hyundai accent dumping clutches.
And I'm like, Lex, I said, hold on. It doesn't matter what vehicle you're driving. It is so much easier if you just start letting off the clutch very easy. You will feel it engage.
Yeah.
I said, you don't have to give it any gas.
And if you don't feel it, you'll know when the car dies.
Yeah.
When
It'll lurch forward. I said, but you can ease off the clutch and not give it any gas, and you'll feel it engage. I said, and then start giving it gas. Not a lot. Just give it, and I said, you just go. I said, and then you clutch, you shift. Unclutch, gas, clutch, shift, gas, clutch, shift, gas.
See, I had enough shitty cars growing up that I had to use both feet on my automatic transmission to keep the car running.
Yes. You had to gas and brake.
Oh, so you had to hold the brake and just...
Yeah, had to hold the brake because if I took my foot off the gas, the car would stall out.
Well, that's my Lincoln.
And then it would do that knocking sound like...
Yeah, so
I hadn't driven my Lincoln in like 6 months, and I was at a red light. It was a Circleville Cruise. So it's all these like hot rods and all this. And I'm at a light next to some 70s muscle
fucking cars from Uncle Buck. It's like...
and my car just sitting there,
smoke.
and I stop at it. It's running fine. Then I stop at red light, and it starts kind of chicka. So I kind of rev it a little. The guy next to me looks over. He's like, "Wah, blah, 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 blah."
Like,
I'm like a bone stock 78 Lincoln.
No, dude. It's got to run.
Yeah. I put on Facebook. I was like, "Hey, fella with the really nice muscle car sitting next to me. I'm just trying not to die here."
I'm trying not to get called AAA. That's all I'm trying to do.
Like, there's a line of traffic of about 200 cars behind the two of us. I'm just trying to keep her going.
I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah, people are dipshits when it comes to that stuff.
My brother learned how to drive on a stick the best way ever. His buddy goes, "Yeah, I'll teach you on my car." And the clutch was so worn out on his like 80s Trans Am. You could just let the clutch out and it'd roll. It goes. No gas. It's just like put it first, let it out, and just take off.
Well, so new cars today
Do they do that?
They have anti-stall technology. So it keeps if you just
That's
Damn
called
millennials.
automatic.
if you pop the clutch with no gas, it'll literally rev for you and match to get you rolling so that you don't stall. But if you gas with the clutch and boom, you take the fuck off.
Yeah.
Like it won't stall. But then like what Audi does, they took it a step further. If you do a certain set of maneuvers, like if you're in neutral, clutch, brake, turn off traction control, first gear, off the brake, hammer down on the gas, the RPMs hit 32 RPM and just hang there. It doesn't go past that. So when you pop the clutch, it's launch mode. It fucking sends you.
You buy a new Audi and at a red light, you get on your radio and push up, down, left, right, left,
right, ABBA, AM, FM, AM, FM.
Yeah, I did it. Well, I did it to my buddy Pete. Like right after I got that black A4 that I had a couple years ago. He's like,
That was a nice car.
I'm sitting there where the light, and we're coming back from lunch, and I went,
You mean S4?
no, A4.
Oh, the A4 before the S4?
I had the
You
S5.
white S5, that's right.
Yeah. So I had a black
I
A4
remember the A4 now, yeah.
that had 330 horsepower, and then I had a white S5
S5.
that had 330 horsepower. So they were equally matched. But I was sitting there at the red light, and I hit the traction control, and he looked at me and goes, "What'd you turn that off for?" And I went, "Wah." Light turned red, and it was like, whoosh, we both snapped back in the seat. And he's like, "Stop. I'm like,
What are you doing?
we're heading down
What
fucking.
kind of pussy is that guy?
Pete's not a.
You and your 14-second car.
Pete's not. Well, that was more than a 14-second car.
13.9, sorry.
I mean, give it. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
13s. Hey, I remember
13s.
back in the day when we were kids, man, it was like, if you hit that nut, if that first number was a 13,
You hit that
ran
nut.
13s. Yep.
Yep.
13.99, running 13.
13.
Running 13s. Yeah, but But the S5
Always round down.
Was, yeah, the S5 was so much more fun than even though it was an automatic, than the A4. So, smash cut to yesterday. I was on the phone with buyers Volkswagen Audi. And I was talking to the sales guy there that I know who was there when I was there. And he's like, well...
Justin Riddle.
No, he's not. He doesn't work
He
there.
ain't been there forever.
He ain't been there forever. But Justin wasn't there when I was there anyway.
Oh, really?
No. And his name is Matt. And I was bullshitting with him. And I said, so what do you got? Like, I said, I know that used cars are, right now, they're not cheap. Like, you can't, but to get a decent used car, you're not going to get something for $5,000. And he's like,
for $5,000, you're getting a 95 Escort like I learned how to drive
fuck
stick
that.
one.
I will not buy a Ford. I will not buy a Chevy, a Dodge. I will not buy.
Yeah, you buy all the
If it's not a Toyota, Volkswagen, Audi, or Subaru, that shit ain't going.
Which kills me. You the Toyota I get, I'm with you 100% on Toyota. But then you say Volkswagen, Audi, and Subaru, and I can't think of three worse things to deal with maintenance on.
That's you. I never had any issues
That's
with
me
any
and
of mine.
98% of everybody else in the world.
I've owned 5 Volkswagens and never had a single solitary problem.
Okay,
other than Audi not taking care of the issue that they knew was a problem.
Hence my point.
But
Just like when Volkswagen didn't take care of our issue on 2 vehicles that they knew was a problem.
well, it was drivable. I wasn't having sludge issues.
Ours was drivable technically.
Well, you say technically. I just had to put oil in it more often than I should have because they used the wrong fucking
So
piston
why won't you
rings.
get a Ford or a Chevy?
I don't fucking like American vehicles. They can go fuck off.
Okay.
I've never.
So it's just a preference.
Yeah, I've never owned. I've
that's
owned
fair.
2 American cars and they were nothing but trouble.
Which 2?
I had a Pontiac.
Yep, there we go.
Goddamn. And I had a Plymouth Sundance.
I knew they were going to be 2 of the biggest empties ever.
It doesn't matter. I drove a Chevy Astrovan, a Mercury Villager, a Buick Skylark, a Chevy Love Diesel.
I had a Buick Skylark.
What else did I drive?
My first car was a 1984 Ford Tempo.
No,
Ooh.
that's a fucking horrible car. And every one of those fucking cars was.
I like a lot of
pain
American
in the
cars,
ass.
and I don't want one of them. That's like the first cars I remember my parents having when I was younger was a Pontiac 6000 and a Pontiac Sunbird.
We had a Pinto.
Not
when
a
I
Firebird,
grew up.
a Sunbird.
Yeah, I don't want any of that shit. I will.
I
not
will say one
own-
of the most
Ford
reliable
trucks.
cars.
Fine.
Love Ford trucks.
I will
Love 'em.
not ever own.
I've driven
unless it's like
between
a
myself-
cherry, like pristine, like Mustang, but never.
Well,
a Ford
when
truck
I
again.
say I like domestics, I like a lot of the high-end domestics.
Yeah.
When
And
I
the
say I like
classics.
domestics,
I
I'm
like a
talking about
71 Hemi
beer.
Cuda.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Also fair. But the Germans do good beer too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're
They're kind of known for that. The Bavarians.
But
You just like
Yeah,
Hitler.
it was-
That's fine.
Ford Tempo, Buick Skylark, Saturn Ion,
Ooh.
Ford Ranger Edge, and then
was
my
a splash.
yeah.
I remember the splash.
So I was with my ex at the time, and she bought the Saturn, and I bought the Ford. Or no, I bought the Ford, she bought the Saturn, but we drove each other's cars. So she had vanity plates for the Ford. And so after we split up, for about 5 months, I drove a Ford Ford Ranger Edge with Baby Girl 80 vanity plates.
Fucking Ford. You can't kill a Ford Ranger though.
One
That's
no.
a Ford fucking Ranger.
I know what that is. One of the best vehicles I've ever owned for
And there are times I fucking miss that.
$1,500, and I drove the piss out of it from Logan to Columbus and all day for work.
Crown Vic.
Crown Vic Police Interceptor. That thing would start if it's negative 120 degrees out with 4 inches of ice on the starter. It didn't matter. That thing, you turn the key, fires right up, heats hot instantly. And
That's
it'll
because
idle
it's a different
all
vehicle.
Day. Well, I had their extra oil cooler and all this other crap
Yeah.
just because it's made to idle all day.
Yep.
But it had enough power, and the best part was mine still had the bull bar. So when I was going up 33 on the bypass in the left lane, everybody's just like moving over, and I'm just
Yeah.
like 90. right past everybody, 90, 100 mile an hour, just cruising.
I do that now.
Yeah, but people don't move out of the way for an FJ.
Oh, no, they move.
When you see coming
I
up
want
behind
it.
you,
When you see someone coming up behind you fast and there's a bigger vehicle than you get the fuck out of the way.
Oh, well, I'm in a truck, so I'd be like, yeah. Especially when it was the company truck. I'd be like,
I
hit
was
me.
about to say, so you're still driving the truck?
I'm still employed as of this recording.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Wink,
Okay.
wink.
Good to know.
We'll talk off the air,
Cool.
gentlemen.
Randy just stole
There's a
the
buckhorn.
truck. Randy stole the truck.
I've not been told what to do with it yet. I also messaged you guys from the company computer. They haven't told me what to do with it yet.
Is the company a company?
They haven't told me that yet either.
Because I'm sure they're not listening to this.
Not my. What if they were? Of all the things,
We're like, fuck, he's got the truck.
I'm like, shit, I'm going to get an email.
That's where the goddamn truck is.
Tuesday night, I'm going to get an email like, well, I closed that email and haven't opened it since. I'm going to be closing that email once I'm no longer employed there.
Yeah.
All right, so all that, but it's like the checks keep coming.
I mean,
All right,
one
Milton.
more. right. I'm just. I'm going to have to drive down to Fort Worth, Texas. I swear I'll burn the place
Actually,
down.
we have a lot of downloads coming out of Texas right now. So maybe they are listening.
Hey,
I can't pinpoint the city. We just have,
Well, we know we have.
we have Johnny Edwards.
we have
Yeah.
one queer listener.
Which you need to go read his most recent comments. I did not comment back because I don't fucking understand what you're saying. It's like he did
he comments
Siri.
as he's listening.
He does. He comments, and I love that. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that he comments as he's listening. But whatever it is that came up, I can't comprehend it because it's like he was talking to Siri, and Siri was just like, "I'm just
Siri
going to
had
put
been
this."
drinking.
Yeah, Siri had been drinking. So, anyway, we're going to end this. If you're in the eastern Ohio area along the river,
Sorry.
close to Toronto,
Very sorry.
I apologize, but hit up Squids Brewery.
I will give props to Squids.
Their Red Night Ale is fantastic.
I liked it.
Their oatmeal stout is really good too. Like I had
that one intrigues me.
that one I had, but I didn't want to bring 2 growlers back with me. So that one I had too. The apple, I would not get it. The apple ale is very sweet.
That's one beer.
Very tart, and it is a 1 beer.
Oh, it's tart. It's not like Apple Jacks or anything.
No, it's sweet and tart.
So it's a Granny Smith apple.
Yeah,
it's like a sweet tart.
It's very, but it's really good. But it's like the first sip sweet, the second sip is you're just like, okay.
Shout out to my cousin Dan.
So-
He was like, I'm catching up on the Buckhorn podcast, and Randy's random opening ran into my GPS as follows. If you want to go to the end of the road, and Siri goes, turn right at the next light.
Somebody's going to drive off of a cliff because of me.
Did you hear about the guy who drove off of a fucking bridge because his GPS didn't tell him to turn? This happened last week.
No.
Did you see the guy who fucking crashed through the,
It's the same guy.
who
Did you
drove
see
off the pier?
Yeah. Well, no, that's different.
Yeah.
I got a video of that from my buddy Paul. He's like, this literally just happened down here in Virginia Beach. And a guy, you just see a guy driving off. They're like, is he going to drive off the pier?
Yeah.
He's going to drive off the pier. Holy shit. He's going to whoop. And off the pier he goes.
Did you guys see the guy that cut off his mom's head and then put up a YouTube video about
Yes.
No.
Did you?
It was his dad.
Oh, Dad, yeah.
It was his dad. He was like, yeah.
Sorry, you guys were just
and it
doing
was
the
like,
Did You See? And I just saw that like 2 days
It
ago.
was like government conspiracy, and he was like, he like held up his dad's head, and then like just was like just talking, like yeah, so the whole world economy,
he
blah
had his
blah
hand
blah.
in it like a puppet. Hey, Dad, how you doing? I'm good, son. I
fine.
promise
Did you
I
see
love
that we
you.
got a guy named Johnny Edwards who keeps commenting on everything that we do?
I'm
And we
fine
love the
with
guy.
that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Randy doesn't love him.
No, I actually do. The last ones I laughed at. He left like 4 comments this last one. I
Yeah,
read
that's the one I'm
comments every
talking.
week, yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about. The one I couldn't comprehend.
Well, you can't read.
No, I read it 4 fucking times.
Have Liz read it to you.
No, shut up. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Insta, Google, Tubestagram.
I'm Martelle from Malik and Randy. We're out.
Okay, bye, Malay.
Bye.